Hi, One in our Smart Home here, and today we're going to show you how to install a Lutron Maestro dimmer. We've got the Lutron Maestro dimmer over here on the left, and you can see it has an LED indicator over here to tell you how bright or dim the light switch is, as well as two buttons here that adjust the dimming level. You can then turn on and off the light switch with the middle button. Now, what we've got here is our existing switch. The first thing that you need to do before you work on any kind of electrical system is make sure that you have the power off. We've already done that, but for you at home, what you're going to need to do is make sure you turn the light switch on here and then go down to your circuit breaker and turn off the circuit for this particular device and circuit. When you come back up, you'll notice that the lights are off in that room that you turn the light switch on, and that's how you know you have the power off. You may need a friend to help, or it may take a couple trips to your circuit breaker to make sure you have the right device off and the right circuit off. Now, as an added measure of precaution, we have a non-contact voltage meter here. We'll put a link below, but you can use a non-contact voltage meter to determine if the power is off. These work by getting close to the electrical current and will detect it and alert you if there is still electrical current. Make sure you follow the instructions for your specific non-contact voltage meter, but it's a good way to make sure you have the power off. Now, to get started on our Lutron Maestro install, all we're going to have to do is take off the two screws on the cover plate. We've got the power off, and we have confirmed it was off camera with the non-contact voltage meter. Now we go ahead and take the other screw off from the cover plate, and we're going to be able to access the switch. You really only need a screwdriver and a couple other hand tools to get this job done, so it's not super intensive in terms of the requirements for the materials. You can go ahead and use either a drill driver or a screwdriver and then remove the two screws that hold the light switch into the junction box. We've got other videos that show you everything you need to know about electrical wiring, so you can go ahead and take a look at those. But if you want to support this channel, go ahead, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, subscribe, or you can watch any of these courses that we've got listed below or sign up for those courses. So I've got these off, and now you can see the light switch. On the bottom here, we have our incoming hot, designated by the black wire, in our outgoing load wire. This goes to the actual device, the light fixture in the room, whereas this is the incoming power. We've got another video that shows what these different wires mean. We'll include a link to that, as well as our other courses that you can sign up for. So you're just going to want to take a picture here so you know what wires go where, and then you can remove these. So go ahead and take a picture, and we will remove these two wires. You can just use a screwdriver, but it's faster for the sake of the camera for us to use a drill driver. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take my Lutron cassette light switch, or my Lutron Maestro light switch, excuse me. What I've got on here is two terminals. I've got up here at the top, this is my load wire, so that's going to be my yellow wire, that's a terminal connection. Down here, I have the black terminal, which is my hot wire, the incoming power. Now, on the other side, we have this blue. That is if you were setting this up in a three-way configuration, which we're not, but that would be called the traveler wire. Over here, I've got my green wire, which is a ground wire. If you have electrical junction boxes that are made of plastic, you're going to connect your green ground wire to the green ground wire in the junction box. If you've got a newer house, you're going to have a ground wire in the junction box. If you've got an older house, it may be 50-50 in terms of if you have a ground wire, if the wiring has never been remodeled or renovated. For me, I have a metal junction box. So when you install this, it is actually grounded through the casing of the light switch here, just like the ground wire is connected here. So you connect it and it is grounded in that manner when you install this light switch. So I'm going to go ahead and install these. There's two holes here on the back which I can push these into, or I can curve the wires and wrap them around there. So I'm going to use the push method and just push these in with pressure into the back here, okay? So I've pressed in the top one, and now I'm going to press in the, I pressed in the bottom one, and now I'm going to press in the top one, which is the load wire going to the existing light fixture. Okay, So we've got both of those installed, and now this is wired up. Another thing that I like to do before I install any of these, whenever I've got wires out the back side or anytime that I'm installing a light switch, is use a little bit of an electrical tape. So I just want to cover up the sides here where these terminals are, and then cover up any exposed terminals so that they don't touch anything if this were to get sideways in the box, or I was going to need to do any kind of work in that box and open it up. It just gives you an added measure of protection when you're installing these, and is a little bit helpful. So now this is ready to go back into the junction box. We've still got the power off, obviously, because you don't want to get shocked. And if you've got a ground wire and it is already grounded to the junction box like we have, you can go ahead and just cap this off. With the electrical tape on, this is ready to go back in the junction box. With the ground wire, typically I just put a wire nut on it if it's unnecessary, or you can chop it off because it will be grounded through the device here. So next thing we're going to do is play wire origami. What's counterintuitive is that having longer wires actually makes it easier to get the wires into the box because they will fold easier. So once you've got that into the box, you can then just use the screws that are for the actual light switch and start installing them. So we go ahead and make sure we've got it aligned with the hole there. And now we can install the screw into the junction box. Now you don't want to tighten these down too tight when you're initially doing it, because otherwise you will not be able to get both screws in. So kind of go halfway with each and then tighten down the rest of the way once you've got that aligned properly. Now if you're installing these in a junction box with multiple different light switches, you may have to take these tabs off here so that they can all fit together. Now all we have to do to finish this up is put on our cover plate, like so, and then we can get the power turned back on. So we're going to keep going with this, and we are going to be all set for this light switch to be powered back up. Go ahead and tighten it up here, and we're going to tighten it down low, and then this light switch is almost 100% installed. Okay, just get that final screw on there. All right, so now this has been installed, and all we need to do is turn the power back on, and we will see the lights light up for this here. Okay, we just went and turned the circuit breaker back on for the light switch. Everything is working properly. To turn it on, you just go ahead and click right here, and to turn it off, you can click again. So clicking anywhere on the light switch will turn it on or off. Now, if you want to adjust the dimming, you can adjust the dimming on the Lutron Maestro with these two toggles here, up by clicking on the upper end of the lever and down by clicking on the lower end of the lever. So thank you for watching this video and how to install a Lutron Maestro smart dimmer or a Lutron Maestro dimmer switch. This is a more popular dimmer option. It doesn't allow you to control it with your phone. It doesn't allow you to control it with Google or Alexa, and some people like that. But if you do want something you control with Alexa or Google, the Lutron Cassetta is what you want to go with. So overall, this is a nice switch. It's got a nice smooth profile, looks good in pretty much any room. We'll put a link to this below, as well as if you want to support us, you can take any of our courses. Now, one thing that is interesting, if you are working on any lights or anything like that, it does have this little tab here, and you can pull this out as kind of like a circuit breaker for the room or whatever's connected to this. So if you are installing a light bulb, you can pull this out, and that will make sure it's safe. And then as soon as you're done, you just push it back in and the power is restored, and you can go ahead and turn up the dimming or adjust it however you want. So thank you for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and visit us at onehoursmarthome.com. Thank you.